Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. This is the best way to develop a relationship with your local coin shop. Let's explore! Yes, and by developing a relationship, I'm talking about trust. You know, when we buy from our local coin shop, we have to have some level of trust that they are going to be giving us a fair deal and selling us legitimate and genuine silver and gold and collectible coins. But, trust works in both ways as well. And I'm going to share with you a story about my experience at a local coin shop that I frequent, and a way that I help to solidify and reinforce a relationship that I've had with them for quite a while. You know, this has happened in the past. I've actually have discovered at my local coin shop products that they had that weren't genuine. I can think of two separate occasions where I was able to pick out silver or even gold pieces that appeared suspect in my eyes. And they actually did some further research and did some more in-depth testing on them and found it to be true. And so things like that you can do to help serve your local coin shop, I think, is good. You got to be careful, though, about how you approach situations like that, because you're essentially accusing them of having fake products. So you have to really know and understand what fake silver or gold looks like, or and the like, and what have you. Since then, they've actually gotten a very, very expensive tester, so they can actually test the composition of the products that they receive. But this is a situation where it had worked in yet a different way. That's right. Now, at this particular local coin shop, I go in and just buy very small amounts at a time. You know, I may pick up a silver dime here or there, a $50, whatever I find that tickles my fancy or just helps to kind of embolden my stack just a little bit more, even though I'm not really in a buying mode where I'm accumulating a whole bunch of silver at this point, because my focus is on gold. But really, it can work as well for gold too. And it did. It paid off. I'll tell you exactly how that occurred. So I went in and purchased these two $50. And I purchased them at a time when silver was a little bit cheaper. And it was about, they were selling them essentially for $12 per dollar at the time. So it's $6 a piece for these particular coins. Now, in this particular visit, I had perused my way through there and realized that time was short. And I just was looking through some of their $50 and picked out two. And I just basically said, I'll take these two and be on my way because I'm late for my next appointment. So they rang me up, and $6 was what I paid for two 90% $50. I walked out of there not thinking a whole lot about it because of the rush of time. And then when I got home, I realized I got quite a bargain for those two $50. And a part of me was thinking, were this just being extra nice to me? Perhaps so. They basically gave me one free and charged me what their normal price was for the other one. But it just didn't set well with me because they didn't say anything about an extra special deal or anything of that sort. So it had me a little bit puzzled. So I went back to the local coin shop in the next visit, and I told them, that you had charged me essentially for one of those $50, and I took out two. And they realized the error of their ways and said, oh, yes, that's right, I do remember that. And they thanked me for my honesty, and I offered them the other $6. And so everything was squared away. So that is something that I literally could have gotten away with, and no one would have been the wiser because they really didn't think about it. But the person who rang up the transaction was the same person I dealt with the previous time, and they did remember that transaction, and were thankful that I gave them the money for the second $half that was really owed the previous time. And so it set a new level of trust on the customer side that really does make for a bargain. Another instance was where I had been purchasing some bars. This is quite a while ago, and this is at a completely different location, different place. And I was looking through the bars, and there were some 10-ounce bars in there. And, there was some 5-ounce bars, and there was one 10-ounce bar, and I asked how much this one was, and he calculated it based off of 5 ounces. And I told him, I said, well, this is a 10-ounce bar. And he was, well, thank you for that. And he quoted me the correct price. But in that case, he was actually in the hurry. So he was quick on his calculations and missed that this particular bar was a 10-ounce bar. And it served me well in that time, too, because it wasn't too long after that he gave me a pretty good bargain on another product that I was looking at. Back to this present situation with my LCS, they had provided me with a really good deal on a product after this purchase of these two $half for a gold coin. And it wasn't the best deal out there, but it was a good enough deal that they were keeping in mind the fact that I made them aware of them being shortchanged on the last deal for this extra $half. So there's a reward in that kind of thing when you show appreciation or can show give them examples of ways that you can be trusted, then they can be trusted as well in times like that. So that is a way that you can help to build that relationship with your LCS out there so that you can continue to stack and press on and have a place that you can go where bargains can be had or more likely to happen in the case of finding good deals. Because sometimes you can't find a good deal in LCS. They have margins that they have to make. They're not like bullion dealers where they can just go in and hedge their positions like bullion dealers do. And this is in a pile of silver that I have accumulated from them over the past, couple of weeks or so. And, you just go in and you buy when you can. Show them a little bit of appreciation. You support your local brick and mortar stores. I think it does go a long way. And you're remembered. I think it's important to develop those relationships with your local coin shops. And even if you just go in to visit, and talk a little bit. Just talk about what's going on in the world and where the markets are and how their businesses are going. Develop relationships in that way as well. And more than likely, it will pay off with savings, and because that's kind of what it's about. We're all in this together to preserve our wealth in the long run, even if it's just a silver dime or silver quarter or $half at a time. That's the way you do it. You develop relationships, and more than likely, it will pay off in the end. And usually, the payoff is better than what the savings was. For your honesty, it's just the act of kindness that you show and you share with others that will reward you in the end. And I don't really necessarily believe in karma, but I do believe that those things are remembered in people's minds when you have a moment of honesty, and it will come back and pay forward in your favor in the long run. Now, I've heard of stories about people going to LCSs and people feel like they weren't treated very well. And that is the case. I've certainly have seen that in my travels as well, where there has been some relatively rude, not very people-friendly folks out there. And you think about it, a lot of the numismatists that are out there in the world, or in America especially here, some of them come from older stock, and as a different position at different times, and they're kind of curmudgeons, that type of deal. But nonetheless, it is what it is. So remember, relationships do matter, and trust matters, and it goes both ways. So that is the single best way that you can develop that relationship and that trust with a local coin dealer. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.